Greetings, everybody, from West Virginia, USA. Saturday, March 28, 2026. Look how beautiful that sky is and that flag. I'll tell you, I've never been more proud to be an American than I am right now. That's what we're going to talk about here in just a second. But I want to show you, look at the leaves are starting to bud out, and that's going to bloom here, and that's a beautiful, like a deep red when that comes out. Look at that tree right there. And look at around that fire hydrant. I got one daffodil come up there. I got them planted around the flagpole, but only one has popped out so far. And the same on my mailbox post out there. They're ready to pop up. But this is my front porch where I have my morning and afternoon fika. And that's what I'm about to have right here now. And let me get situated here. I got this set up here. See if I can get this hooked up. Apologize for I'm a novice at this, but I got this new stick. There we go. And oh my gosh, you don't want to look at bushes. There we are. And let's see. Is that going to be okay? I think it is. We'll get there. So, thank you for tuning in if you found this video. You can call me Grandpa, because I am a grandpa. An old grandpa. And I'm proud to be a grandpa. And, oops, there went my little note card, but that's okay. I want to talk to you about what's going on in the world today. Any of you that know me, you know that I'm just 2 weeks in now from having a complete brand new shoulder put in here. They cut off your rotator cuff, you know, there. They cut it off from the shoulder blade here, cut it off from the bone coming up from the elbow, take all that out, throw it in the garbage pail, and put a brand new one in there. And I was a little bit, no, I knew it was going to be outstanding good because my wife's already had that done, and she's had 2 knees replaced. And I've had a lot of relatives had it done. My father had 2 knees and a hip, and my brother just had a new hip put in, and my wife's all her sisters and her dad had 2 new knees put in. It's just incredible what modern medicine is doing today. And so I'm grateful, but you know, this is my first go at it. So I knew it was going to be good. But you have a little bit of reservations. And but I can tell you, I am over the top of the hill, ecstatic of how incredibly awesome this whole procedure went. The surgery went well. Had absolutely no pain. My recovery's been incredible. I'm 2 weeks in. I'm just starting to, I had 2 physical therapy sessions this past week. And they said I'm doing really good. So look at that. Right now, just working on range of motion. There's a lot of limitations you can't do, but it'll come. And, you know, just working on motion, and then strength comes later. So enough of that. That's why if you see me acting a little stiff, or, you know, like this right now, that's the reason why I got to do some of the therapy and all that stuff. But it'll come. Why am I so proud to be an American? I'm telling you, when you have a situation like I find myself in right now with nothing but time on your hands, because I'm a school bus driver. I'm proud to be a school bus driver. I'll actually love being a school bus driver. Not because I have to, thank you, Lord, because I want to. You have to have something to do when you get to be an old codger like myself. I love to sit on the front porch and rock, and I have neighbors and that come over occasionally, and we have our fika out here. And I happen to be Nordic, and you can look up what fika is, F-I-K-A. And it's a custom and tradition, and We try to solve world problems here on the patio, on the porch, but we don't have any authority, so it doesn't go any further than this front porch. But it's fun. And I invite you to have fika with me. Now, I left my coffee inside because I had quite a bit of coffee, and I see I'm out of my bottled water. I bought this because I don't usually buy bottled water because we have great water right out of the kitchen sink. And I have a reverse osmosis thing. But for all my cousins in Iceland, and as my grandpa always told me, everybody in Iceland's your cousin. I'm just giving you a marketing report. You're doing a good job because we can buy Icelandic glacial water right down the street at our little convenience store. So, and it tastes good. Glacial water. I wouldn't buy this water if I was in Iceland because you can get the same water right out of their kitchen sinks. But anyways, enough of that. So I am Nordic. In fact, my father is 100%. My mother, she's got German and French and some Finnish. Quite a bit of her family's from Finland. So I already knew what my ancestry thing. How many of you guys have done Ancestry DNA and all the other ones, My Heritage and all that stuff? I had a friend of mine who kind of talked me into doing it because he did it. And I said, well, I already know what I am. Why do I need to do it? Well, you just got to do it. I said, okay. So I did it. And it proved out exactly what I thought it would be. I'm 87% Nordic. But out of that split, my grandpa, very, very proud Viking. And I'm going to be talking about that coming up videos. And because we love to go to my grandma and grandpa's and sit on their laps, and my cousins who were more like brothers and cousins because we grew up right next door to each other. It's like having 4 sets of parents, but it was the best. And we're all the same age. My oldest cousin's same age as my oldest brother, and they had 2 sons. My mom and dad had 4 sons, so 6 boys. Just think of that. Any of you that had our parents, my grandpa called us the little berserkers. He drove them nuts. We loved grandma and grandpa and spent a lot of times there. I mean, we had the best growing up and you could possibly have ever asked for. I had wonderful, wonderful parents. They were born over 100 years ago. God rest their soul. They had a great life. And my grandpa, he's from Haganäs, Sweden. Served 2 years in the Swedish Navy after he got done with high school. And I'm going to tell you about his life coming up. And my grandma, she was born in Sweden too, but she's 100% Sami. And you know who the Sami people are? They're the only indigenous group of people in all of Europe. And they lived in the northern parts of Norway, Sweden, Finland, a little bit of Russia, right up there in the Arctic, and chased the reindeer around. So I'm very, very proud of my heritage, as any of you, I'm sure, are the same. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm very, very proud to be a Viking and a Sami. But I'm super, super proud to be an American. In fact, I consider it a privilege. It truly is what it is. I've been blessed and lucky that I have been well-traveled in my life. I've been in every single state in the United States except for one. And that's Hawaii. I've had an opportunity to go to Hawaii several times, but something came up and I just couldn't make it. And my wife has been to Hawaii. My parents have been to Hawaii. My sons have been to Hawaii, but I haven't been there yet. But I've been in every single state. I live in West Virginia, and I'm so proud to be a West Virginian, as people from any of the states in the United States are so proud of their state. And There's 55 counties in West Virginia. I've been in every single one many times. And I'm going to tell you more about West Virginia in a couple videos coming up, because I'm so proud to be a West Virginian. You can call us hillbillies, you can call us mountaineers, anything you want. But we're true blue, red, white, and blue, and proud to be USA. So I want to tell you stories about my grandma growing up and living in the Arctic, you know, living out in tents. That's what they lived in. And it's a tough life, but they've mastered the skills, and they've been there for 10,000 years, the Sami people. My grandma always used to say to me, "Oh, you got the Sami eyes." I said, "Huh?" She goes, "You got the Sami eyes." I was like, "What are the Sami eyes, Grandma?" She says, "You know, it looks like you're squinting all the time." I said, "Well, why is that?" And I'm a little kid. She says, "Well, because when you live out in the Arctic and the wind is howling and the snow is blowing," she says, "you got to squint so you don't get the snow in your eyes." I'm proud to have the Sami eyes. Thank you, Grandma, for the Sami eyes. Yeah. So that's who I am, my heritage and my background. But you know, like I said, I do my exercises, and I have a routine to do. And I've been going for a couple walks up and down this street. And I'm going to get back into shape here pretty quick. They say it's about a 6-week recovery time. So what do you do to fill your time? If you're not, naps. You know, when in doubt, take a nap. I've taken more naps now than I have ever since I was a little kid. My mom says it's time to go up and take a nap to give her some breaks. I happen to be a twin, and my twin brother and my cousin, who were less than 2 months apart. So, like I said, we were so close, more like brothers than cousins. And anyways, other than taking naps, I watch a lot of TV, more than I ever have in my entire life, because I try to keep busy. And I got a lot of hobbies and stuff, and I'm looking forward to get back into them. But as you watch the TV and you see what's all going on in the world, and you know, I actually call the news today, I call it the views, because it's not just news. It's become so politicized, so sensationalized, and agenda driven. Don't think that they don't want you to come away with the thought that they're the narrative that they're trying to push. And that's why I love YouTube videos, because you get to see through other people's eyes exactly what the real world is all about. I love walking tours. I love history, documentary, and all that stuff. But I love the walking tours, because you can click on any city, any country, anywhere in the world, and you can find a video that somebody has filmed through their eyes, showing you, hey, this is my town, this is where I live, or this is where I'm visiting, and walking around, and it's real and unfiltered. Here it is. Take it or leave it, or like it or love it. This is what I'm reporting to you, what I see here. And it's just like here, I showed you up and down my street a little bit. My wife and I, we've lived in this home now for 26 years. It's been the perfect retirement home for us. I've been out here rocking in this chair whenever I can, more lately than previously, but I can tell you sincerely and honestly, it's no different today than it was 26 years ago. This is an incredible neighborhood. There's over 450 homes in this development. And this is no different than there's over 100 developments just like this here in Berkeley County, West Virginia, where I live. And it doesn't matter if you go downtown into Martinsburg or the little village of Hedgesville or Spring Mills or Inwood, Garrettstown, they're all the same. And everybody's doing the same thing. Saturday afternoon, they're doing their visiting with their friends, going getting groceries. You know, it won't be long. We'll be mowing lawns again. And just a couple weeks ago, we were shoveling snow. The school bus comes up and down the street, and the kids go to school. Moms and dads are going to work. That's reality. This is what it is. Don't believe what you see on TV when you see protesters and all that stuff. You have the right to protest in this country. That's what's so great about America. You have freedom. But is it really, really what they want you to believe, that, holy crap, look what's going on in Minnesota or Los Angeles or anything like that? It isn't. God bless them people. But let's say you got 25, like them people that invaded that church. They showed that video all over the world and all that stuff, and broke into the church while they're having their services and disrupted it. And they wanted you to think that this is what happened in America. That isn't what's happened in America. Let's say you have a protest and there's 50 people, 100 people out there banging their pots and pans with their wooden spoons and blowing their whistles and that. It's not reality. It really, truly isn't. Because let's say there's 100 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people. That'd be a massive, big protest or rally or whatever. 10,000 people. Let's even bump it up to 500,000 people. Can you imagine? 500,000 people. Do the math. There's over 350 million Americans in the United States and our territories today. If you divide the 500,000 by the 350 million, you're talking less than 0.001% of the population. So what does that tell you? That means that 99.99% of the rest of us are doing the same thing that I'm doing right now. Maybe some of them are doing a video talking to other people in other parts of the world. Thank you for tuning in if you found this. I sure do appreciate it. So, that's reality. It's not the chaos that you see on TV. It really isn't. And are there things that I don't like? Well, yes, that's true in any country. It's true in your country, wherever you may be, where you're watching it. But the majority of the people, they're no different. People are people anywhere on the planet. Doesn't matter if you live in China, in Russia, in Ukraine, God bless all that situation, South America, Africa. It doesn't matter. Europe, anywhere. You want peace, prosperity, a good future, safety, freedom, and knowing that you have a place to lay your head at night, and when you wake up in the morning, things are going to be the same tomorrow as they are right now when you went to go to bed tonight. Isn't that what everybody wants? Food on the table? Yeah, I think it is. So, why am I so proud to be an American? I've traveled, like I said, quite a bit. I've been in every single province of Canada many times. And I have relatives that live in Canada. Don't believe what you see on the news. Canadians are our best friends, our best allies. And we've had our differences over the years, but we're the same people. I have relatives that live in Canada. I've worked in Canada. And, they built that big, beautiful bridge. They build beautiful things, too. They built that brand new bridge that's going to connect Windsor, Ontario into Detroit. And I saw in the news there that, are they going to let traffic go? The traffic is going to be rolling across that big, brand new bridge. Don't you worry a bit about that. So, I want to talk about Iran. You know, that's what I've been watching on the news. The whole world's watching Iran right now. There's so much going on in the news. You know, I was watching about the election down in Chile, what happened in Venezuela, what's going on right now in Cuba, the ongoing war with Ukraine, and that, God, please let that war come to an end. I have so many friends that I know Ukraine. I got family, in-laws that are Russian, and everybody wants that war to end. I don't understand why it hasn't. But I want to talk about Iran because I happen to also have some friends that are Iranians. And that's the thing that's so great about America. We truly are the melting pot on the entire planet. There's people here from every single race, religion, color, creed, continent that you could think of. And we truly live in peace and harmony. We have them right here in this neighborhood. Everybody from anywhere on the planet living right here. And we all want the exact same thing. We all get together. And it's just incredible. You can't, unless you come here and experience it for yourself, you won't get it. You won't understand. And that's what's made the United States the greatest country that's ever been of all time on the planet. And you can go back to the beginning of time. You can talk about, let's talk about Genghis Khan or the Ottoman Empire or the Holy Roman Empire. You know, America, we're not conquerors. We don't go out to take over other people's land. And I'm going to be talking about Greenland quite a bit coming up because Greenland is so passionate in my heart, and it's been on my mind my entire life from my earliest memories as a little kid for reasons I'm going to explain to you coming up in a video. But we're not going to conquer Greenland. And I want to share a personal experience that just happened to me this summer when my two sons, you know, I have relatives and family in all the Nordic countries. And we just had an incredible, awesome trip over visiting the motherland, let's say, this summer. And we flew from Philadelphia and landed in Copenhagen, Denmark. And then we went over to into Sweden and traveled all up to Sweden and ended up in the Arctic where my grandma's from. And I got generation. When I'm in the cemetery in my hometown that I grew up in, I'm only related to 10 people in that entire cemetery. I got a lot of friends and families that I know there, but directly related, I only have 10. When I'm in the cemetery in Ronio, just north of Luleå, I know that I'm directly related probably to 90% of the people that are buried in that cemetery. And it's an overwhelming experience to feel that. I can't explain it, but it's just very, very moving to me. And yeah, I have a lot of relatives buried in that cemetery. And I think about them often. It was just an incredible trip. And I'm going to explain that more to you coming up. But I want to talk to you about Greenland. And I'll just leave you in suspense. It had something to do, I don't know if I can raise my hand. It had something to do with this tattoo that I have right here. Yeah, that's the Royal Swedish Crown, the top. And this is the crest. Usually this is sandwiched together. It's on all their police cars, all their government buildings, all their military aircrafts and ships and all that stuff. All the athletes that were in the Olympics that just, if you watch the Olympics in Milan, they'll have this on their jerseys, you know. And of course, the American flag. I'll tell you about that because that isn't a number 5. It's a little clan, but I'll tell you the story behind that. But yeah, I'm going to save that for an upcoming video. Why this tattoo? It had something to do with a gentleman and his wife who was having dinner sitting right next to me. And he kept staring over at that tattoo. And I'm going to leave in suspense till you have to watch the next video what happened. It has to do with Greenland. And I think you'll like it. And Greenland. I've seen the videos, I've seen the pictures and on the news. Greenland is not for sale. And I agree with that. It's not for sale. But what's the fate and destiny and future for Greenland? I do want to talk to you about that. And that's coming up real quick because Greenland holds a spot in my heart. And we want nothing but the very, very best for Greenland and Greenlanders. And I believe the best is yet to come for Greenland. I truly do. I believe in fate and destiny. And so going back to what's going on right now in Iran, I am so proud to be an American and to witness and watch what's happening in Iran, because I've talked to my friends that are from Iran, and I can't tell you, unless you yourselves have people that you know that are from Iran, they want the exact same thing that we talked about, that everybody wants: freedom, safety, a good future, and security. And they've been so downtrodden and squashed by the government. Let's just call them the government. I don't want to get political, but it hasn't been good for the last 47 years. And Iran has been kind of like a piranha for the whole world, not just their neighbors. For the last 47 years, their government, not the people. We love the people. The Iranian, the Persian people, incredible, awesome people. But they're afraid. They're afraid that they don't have the freedom, because if they speak up, bullet right in the head. Who would want that? Who would want to have to live under that tyranny? It's incredible. Feel for them. So, to see what's going on with what the Israeli and the American military is doing over there to bring that tyranny to an end. All the Gulf states around there, their neighbors, they now, what do you see on the news? Don't quit. Please, please don't quit. Finish the job. That's what my friends are saying. They can't wait. They're afraid to go out and celebrate right now because they've been warned and told. If you look what happened to that wrestler, God bless and rest his soul. So sad, so sad. Just because he spoke up and said, yeah, he supports regime change. He ain't speaking up no more. They killed him. Tragic story. So sad. And he's just one of thousands and thousands and thousands that have lived under this tyranny and have died for speaking up. So I'm reminded of one of the greatest military songs of all time, going back to World War I. I'm going to do a video about the history of the United States, because I think a lot of people, they don't really understand what the United States is all about, and those 50 stars on that flag today, and why Americans are so patriotic and will fight to the death to defend that flag, just like we did in the War of 1812, when Britain attacked the United States again because they were jealous. They couldn't accept the fact, this year's our 250th anniversary. There's going to be massive celebrations. And when Britain, when we declared our Declaration of Independence and we signed that and sent a copy over to the king, and he looked at that and he says, huh? There's no way. We're not going to stand for that. And we, just like Greenland's a territory of Denmark, we too were territories of all the European countries. They're all in on the gig. They're big time colonizers. They sent their explorers. You get on your boats, you take this big bucket of flags and you go out there, and wherever you see land, you take your flag and you spike it down on there and you declare this is now our territory. The United States has never done that. But they sure did. They went out and conquered the whole world. Every single one of them. The Dutch, what was New York City called before it was New York? New Amsterdam. Then the Brits kicked them out and called it New York, after probably York, England, do you think? And I can go on and on and on. The French, they were up in Quebec and down in Louisiana. And, they're just Spain. Practically the whole world was speaking Spanish, all of South and Central America. And except for Brazil, they speak Portuguese because of Portugal. They were in on it too. And yeah. So, Greenland, you have nothing to fear. We're not going to come and spike our flag down at Greenland and say this is now ours. But I'm going to save my thoughts about Greenland because we love Greenland. And it's no secret. We would love to see Greenland in the family. So I want to talk to you about that. But Iran, my friends are saying, we're so close. Please don't quit. Finish the job. So what was the big song in World War I? Over There. Do any of you know that song? That's a lot. You're talking over 100 years ago. Your parents might know that song. Both my parents, I can remember my mom and dad singing it. God bless their soul. They were born over 100 years ago. They're no longer with us. I love my mom and dad. They had an incredible life. And I'll share some thoughts and stories about them coming up. So my grandparents, they knew this song. If any of you have any grandparents or great-grandparents around, they'll know this song. And that, war is hell. Let's face it, it's hell on earth. The last thing that you would ever want. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we had no more wars? But if you're going to go to war, there's no greater friend or ally that you would want on your side than the United States of America. And likewise, there is no greater enemy that you would ever want to have to face than the United States of America. Because we'll fight to the death to defend that flag. Now, we're not in Iran to take over Iran. We have no intentions to take over Iran. We just want to free Iran, the Iranian people, so that they can run their own country and be in control of their own fate and destiny and come back to common sense and be good neighbors to all the other Arab nations in Israel that want nothing but to be their friends and be good business partners and bring prosperity and peace to everybody worldwide. That's what it's all about. And that day is going to come. I pray that this happens soon. And I'm so proud to be an American and to witness and watch what's going on. And the whole world should be grateful too, Because just like the song said, over there, I'm no crooner, but I'm going to sing you a very condensed version of that song. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video when it's done. You can look it up, please, and look at that song. And I'm going to put another link in to why we're so patriotic about that song, because a lot of people don't really understand our national anthem. I've had people tell me to my face that that's a horrible, horrible song. It depicts war and bombs bursting in the air, the rockets' red glare. You have no clue. You don't even know what that song is about if that's what you think about that song. Please watch the video, the Star Spangled Banner, like you've never heard it before. It's only about a 10, 13-minute video. You'll find it on YouTube, but I'm going to put a link in here too. Please watch that song, and then you'll say, I get it. Now I understand why Americans are so patriotic and will fight to the death to defend that flag. It'll bring a tear to your eye. And that's all what we want for the Iranian people, so that they can fly their flag and be so proud to be Iranians and not live in fear. I think that day's coming. So the song goes, condensed version, over there, tell the folks over there to beware that the Yanks are coming, and we won't come back till it's over there. Yeah, you ever heard that song? There's several verses to it. It's an awesome, great song. And it gave people hope and encouragement that the Yanks are coming and we're coming to help. That's all we want, is to help. So God bless our troops. God bless the Iranian people. God bless all of you, wherever you may be on this planet. And God, please bless America. Continue to bless America. You surely have blessed America. And I'm so proud to be an American. Thank you for your time. I look forward to having ficas with you on the front porch. We can solve world problems, at least in our mind. We don't have any authority, but it's nice to talk about it. I look forward to being a friend and to have you as a friend. So that's what this is going to be about. Welcome to this. I just thought, I'm going to be sitting in the rocking chair here for the next several months. Why not talk to all of you people that are like-minded, wherever you may be, anywhere in the world? I look forward to it. And I guess that's all till the next time. It's Grandpa saying goodbye. God bless all of you.